Hi guys, welcome to Brass Bootcamp. In today's video, I'm going to be covering some grade 3 pieces and the bridge between grade 3 and 4 in Great Winners by Peter Lawrence. So the first piece I'm going to start with is actually on the grade 3 syllabus, and it's A Whole New World. I'm sure you'll recognise this tune from Aladdin, the Disney film. If you've seen a lot of my other videos, then you'll know when something's a song or whether something's meant to sound nice, it's not always written in the music. So in this one, it's not written smooth and nice. It's actually written like this. Which is not in the right style, is it? It's meant to be, it's a love song, isn't it? So it's meant to be really nice and smooth. All the way through this piece, you can slur all of the notes and make it sound really nice and smooth. So let's talk about the rhythm in the first bar. We've got a nice syncopated rhythm. 1, 2, and 3, and 4, 1. So 1, 2, and 4, 1. It's the same rhythm in bar 1, 3, and 5. There's more syncopated rhythms in the first time bar. 1 and. Syncopation means not on the beat. In sync with the beat would be 1, 2, 3, 4, and then syncopated, you're going to play on the ands, which are exactly halfway through the beat. 1 and 1 and exactly between the clicks on the ands. One other thing in this piece, if you notice in the first time bar, a crotchet and 2 tied quavers are exactly the same. What people tend to do is they see 2 tied notes and they tend to play that note for a bit too long. So just make sure all your crotchets and your 2 tied quavers are exactly the same length. So you'll notice I actually played that all in one breath. The phrasing in this piece is not written in the music, so I would advise maybe not doing the whole thing in one breath, but if you can do the whole thing in one breath, it makes the music flow a lot more evenly. What I would not advise to do is breathe every 2 bars. That way, it's like little small chunks and it chops the music up a little bit. So if you all want to write in a breath mark at the end of bar 4, then nice even 4-bar phrases for the whole piece will make it nice and consistent. Looking at the end of the second time bar, so this is bar 10, the phrasing starts halfway through the bar. So where the forte is marked on the note A, that's where the tune starts again after the introduction. It's A Whole New World, the words for the tune. 4-bar phrases, I would advise breathing before the triplets at the end of the line, just to keep that nice consistent 4-bar phrase for the whole piece. So this is bar 10 halfway through. We're after a nice romantic sound, really nice and smooth, nice and expressive. We don't want any harsh sounds in this piece. So when we're blowing louder to get these high notes, make sure we're blowing a nice air stream that's not thin and harsh sounding. So a couple of little things in this piece you need to practice. B flat to D slurs is a really useful thing because that second part of the tune, the A Whole New World, bar 10, we've got B flat to D slurs, and that happens a few times in this piece. So practicing. Really smooth there. Ta-ee-ah-ee-ah. Nice tongue movement will get those slurs nice and smooth and clear. Later on, we've got the bigger intervals. So if you have a look at bar 15, we've got C, then F, then high E. I slurred them all, but that is quite difficult. So if you wanted to tongue some of those notes, then that is absolutely fine. Especially the bigger interval, because if I tongue it too hard, it'll sound like this. and we don't want any notes to pop out and disrupt the smoothness of the piece. So we're after. So you are tonguing, but as soft as you can so you don't disrupt the flow of the music. Also in that phrase, there's a C to an E slur. If you could slur that, then that's nice. But again, if you need to tongue that high E, make sure you tongue it nice and soft so none of the notes stick out of the mix. So that's it for this piece. Make sure it's smooth and as nice as you can. No notes sound harsh, no notes are louder than the other. It's all just one smooth piece of music. The next two pieces sort of bridge the gap between grade 3 and grade 4, again out of the Great Winners book. So the first one is Wallace and Gromit, so I'm pretty sure you'll all recognise this tune. Couple of little intricate bits in this piece, couple of little tricky rhythms. You've got a key signature of 2 sharps, which are F sharp and C sharp. So F sharp, second valve, C sharp, high C sharp is 1 and 2, low C sharp is all 3. As we move through on the third line, the note B sharp, that's an odd one that doesn't crop up very often, but a B sharp is just a note C, so a normal C natural, no valves. And we've got also an A sharp as well on the third line. That is first valve, exactly the same as B flat. And then the end of the third line, lots and lots of accidentals. C to C sharp, so open to 1 and 2. The next pair of notes are G to G sharp, open to 2 and 3. The next pair, D sharp to E, 2 and 3 to 1 and 2. Then you've got C to C sharp, open to all 3. And then the last one is that low A. Another thing to talk about quickly is the rhythm at the end of the second line. Ta-ta-ta-ta-ta-ta. That is in bar 11. So you've got the B's and A's, which is easy. So that's how that bar goes. So you've got your B's to A's, which is just normal quavers. And then your F sharps to E's, ta-ta-ta-ta-ta-ta. So if you notice where I stopped then it looks like a weird place in the piece, but when you're listening to it, it makes perfect sense. If you have a look at bar 8, the phrase actually splits the bar in half. So you play on beat 1, 2, then on 3, then the next phrase starts on the and of 3. When you're practicing from the beginning, play up to that third beat, and then when you start practicing the next phrase, start on the and of beat number 3. Another important thing about this whole piece is make sure you do the articulation that's marked exactly. You'll find when I talk about slow pieces like A Whole New World, slurring it all gives the best effect for the music. But in faster or medium speed pieces, generally doing exactly the articulation marking is exactly what's needed. So if you have a look at the first few bars, there's slurred notes, there's staccatos, there's normal notes, there's accented notes, there's tenutoed notes. Doing exactly the right tonguing will help give it that nice lively feel. So I'm going to carry on from halfway through bar 8, so I'm going to start on the and of beat number 3, and then I'm going to follow the articulation perfectly. Watch out for that semi-quaver rhythm at the end of the second line as well. So I went all the way through and went back to the beginning where it says the DC. One note I forgot to mention earlier, in the last bar of the second line, there's an E sharp, which is just an F natural first valve. So you heard the contrast between the slurs and the staccatos and the accent. That's what you're after. The last 2 bars before the DC highlight that exactly, don't they? So you've got slurs, accents, staccatos, and then you go back to the beginning. I'm going to play from bar 5 and take the coda just to finish this piece off. So the last piece in this grade 3 to 4 section is Che Faro. This one goes back in a really nice smooth style. It's working on our high notes, so there's quite a lot of high E's in there, and also our nice smooth playing too. So I'll play you the first little bit, and again, you're thinking about playing as smooth and as nicely as you can, really even sound throughout the range. And as with a lot of slow pieces, you're going to slur everything to make it sound nice. So as nice and as smooth as you can make it. When you've got your repeated notes, make sure you're tonguing them as softly as you can. As soon as the notes are changing pitch, then you can slur everything. Quite a lot of lip slurs in there, from C's to G's to E's. To-I-E. Nice tongue position, really smooth airflow. That's pretty much it for this piece. Make sure you're counting your bars rest perfectly. So the first set of bars rest, you've got 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, and then you start on beat number 4 again. Just a top tip when you're coming in after bars rest, if you know what beat of the bar you're coming in on, if you breathe one beat before, it really does help. So if I know I'm playing on beat number 4, it doesn't necessarily matter what's happened before. If you're following the conductor and you know that beat 4 is on the upbeat and you know you need to breathe on the outbeat, even if you've lost count, you can watch for the 1 and 2. If you know you need to breathe on the out on 3 and then play on the upbeat on 4, then even if you do get lost, you can sort of quickly get back in to playing in the right place. Really useful in a band or an orchestra situation. I'll start from the upbeat to bar 13 and carry on through the piece. And then we go back to the beginning and take the coda nice and easy. So that's all the pieces that cover grade 3 and the bridge between grade 3 and 4 in Great Winners. Stay tuned for my other videos covering all the other pieces in the Great Winners book. A lot of the grade 4 and the grade 5 pieces are all in Great Winners, and there's quite a few pieces that bridge those grades as well. So keep an eye out for those videos. I hope you've enjoyed this video, and I'll see you soon.